It's October 31st, 2024. Today I was in Bob Evans, okay, on 62. These ladies off to the corner are talking. Well, I'm sitting there with my friend, and I tell them about where I had went to church with my son, John. January to March of 19, went down to Minerva, their church down there, okay? This girl walks up to me, heavy set girl. She looks at me, she looks down at her phone. She looks at me, and she looks down at her phone. And she scowls at me one more time, and looks down at her phone. Walks off, and it's like, oh crap. They pay people to know where I'm at. Well, after church, he said, Mom, you want to get lunch? We go over to Minerva Grinders. Inside, we went in and sat down. There was a guy, and the police taped him. He was in Walmart 62 before that. He was in the front of the store. White guy, 50-ish, white hair. Said he was part of the 25,000 and Strange hired him. Okay? He's sitting there. I see him. We sit down. John has a head cold. He's coughing and whatever and running to the bathroom. Next to us is an older white guy with gray suit and an older white lady with blonde hair. In the back is the drug cartel. The 4 men that were supposed to be handler men and even more. Okay? The ones that work with that fake FBI handler, the big lumberjack guy. But they said the one guy was a big Karen fan, watched Dave and Karen in bed for hours. He's in the back. Well, the older guy in a suit and that blonde lady, he was talking about grabbing people and selling them and prostituting them the rest of their life. He was part of the Florida human traffickers. There was 4 70-year-old men. Okay? Right. Up walks Savannah with her baby, looks at me and walks off. Okay? In walks tall guy, white with black hair, cowboy boots, sits right behind me with that guy. He said, it's funny, the waitress sat us beside her. Dave said he tore up her shoulder. Okay? He said, I already have it figured out how she'll die. I got a field picked out, sell the Ravenna, where I'm going to cut up her face, rape her, and stab her to death, and that's where she'll die. Okay? We have it planned out. I looked at John, I said, we need to go. We get outside, he's like, Mom, are you going to do anything about these people threatening your life? I'm like, stay out of it. Okay? I'm glad he moved out of state. I was down at his church again. Same heavy-set girl. Looked at me and said, for when they find you alone, that's when they'll take care of you. Another time she was talking to another heavy-set girl. There's a van outside waiting to grab her. They're going to take her. I acted like I didn't hear. Found people to talk to. Waited till a bunch of people were ready to leave. Got in the middle of them. There's that van sitting right outside the door. Got my car and took off real quick. Another time I was at his church. I was standing there and they were going around praying for different people. And I I felt this guy come up behind me. I could feel him behind me. I thought, why don't you pass? Girl sitting across the aisle looks over and goes, and walks up front. This one older lady nudges the usher, turns around, looks, comes up right beside me, puts his hands up like this, and pushes that guy. And I close my eyes and I can hear a scuffle. Turn around and the doors are rambling as he's blocking the door. Now I was telling my friend about all that. And I was telling him about the guy that tried to kidnap me. Okay? That he took Lori's family member and killed her. That they bragged. And they took Marlisa's niece. I said, even Terry that seen him said, if those guys would have got a hold of you, they wouldn't have let you go alive. I said, I was working in town at this one client that couldn't be left alone. The caretaker went in and talked to her. She said, do you know about the white van, the tall white guy with the black hair works with the other guy? He's part of the human trafficker. He stalks people and tries to grab them. I said, yeah, I know about him. He was known in this area. Part of the Florida human traffickers with the big truck guys. They told Marlisa they know he's Latino descent, a tall white man with black hair, working with that other guy with the big truck guys and other people in stores to trick people to go outside so they can grab them. See, that's where I work. There's this one lady, she's a retired CIA agent. We were talking. She said, well, you can tell you've been around human traffickers. It's like talking to a mafia mama when I talk to you. The way you stand, the way you hold yourself, where you stand, and just even your presence of, how you hold your hands, how you talk. Everything screams mafia mama to me. It yells you've been around human traffickers. The way you stand, the way you hold your hands, the way you present yourself, you can tell you've been exposed to it. Okay? I told her, I said, they would have people bully me in stores. They wanted my hair a certain color. They wanted it done a certain way. They bullied me to what kind of clothes I would wear. They bullied me about even nail polish. They bullied me into how I speak. That you can't say your day is going good. Your day is going well. To the way you hold your hands, not together on top of each other. And how you stand with your feet together. She said, you better be careful. That's when the special outfit comes out. I said, I heard about the special outfit. She said, that means you're sold. She said, if you're ever online and you talk to someone online, they say you're gorgeous and they keep saying it, that means I want to kill you. That's what Henry Moffitt kept saying. Texting me how gorgeous he thought I was. Okay? Try to get a hold of me through Instagram several times of how gorgeous I was. First month of the case, try to tell me how beautiful I was. They're trying to kill me. You think I'm pretty? Then everybody talked about Henry. Okay? Now, if the investigators pulled the case around January 25th, 2019, they had said they had sold me. And somebody paid money for me, a lot of money. And said he paid good money for me. And someone had said that he was African American. People were talking about a Harry up there on TV, and it's probably just a coincidence, but it is a weird coincidence. My friend said that on the news, they had it that they were all hunting a human trafficker named Harry, and he was African American. Where the regular human trafficker, well, no, I don't know if there's such a thing as regular human traffickers, but the drug cartel that was here, they mentioned Harry's name, they scatter like children. Who the hell is Harry? Are you crazy being mean to her? She's one of Harry's girls. And they would scatter like children. It was almost comical. It's like, who the hell is Harry? Do you know what Harry will do if you're mean to her? They would scatter. Okay. My one friend, I met him out in Worcester, January 13th, 23. He said, you told me what happened to you. I work in a factory of race horses professionally. He said, on the racetrack, there's drug dealers. I know someone who knows someone. I went to him. And they said all the Ohio drug dealers know. He lives 2.5 hours away from here. All the Ohio drug dealers know what happened here. They're so angry at that agent for letting this happen. And then they were threatening his life. And I'm like, whoa, he may need to go to jail for this. But I don't believe in violence. I didn't say it. I'm just telling you what they said. And I said again, he said, whoa, I didn't say it. I was just relaying what they said to me. So I told the FBI, the police, everyone that they had threatened that agent. See, FBI agent John, I'm not you. Well, the next week, and I wanted to find out if there was more of a threat on that agent. So I met him again for dinner. That time, we meet at a small little diner. These guys are over in the corner, and there have been cars following. A lot of them pull up. Okay? We go in and we sit down. Okay? These men come in. That guy over in the corner at this little tiny table bar, he said, she's sitting over there with him. I got all these men around me. Okay? I'm sitting with my friend. He said, and I'm over here. I can't believe, and he's pointing right at me. My friend said, who's that? I said, I don't know. He said, and he keeps saying it. I want to say he's riffraff, ignore. Okay? And he keeps saying it and kept pointing at me. And he's like, what is that guy's problem? I'm like, I don't know. An older couple come in and they're turned around and they're saying the same thing and pointing at me. And then they go to leave. We're going to tell Harry about this. Okay? I thought, tell Harry. And who the hell is Harry? And I'm not for sale. I am a free U.S. citizen, and I'm not for sale. Okay? Well, when he left, my friend looked at me and said, you know, I have a friend on the police department. You know about your case? That agent opened with you. And I'm looking at all these men, and I thought, you brought your police department here? They knew about the case that agent opened with you. They knew about the Texas group involved in your case. And I said, the Kingsmen? And he said, is that what they called us? For we all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. by the 1st of January of 19. 300-pound white men with long black curly hair. The Muslim women show up. The Middle Eastern men. Gentlemen's Club from Florida. Henry Mafi's group. The California drug dealers and the rest of them. Okay? And he goes on that there was a retired judge in Texas involved in this. They went down to question him. He killed himself. There's another retired judge also involved in this human trafficking scam, says the state. They found 35 people tied up in a railroad car. They, African American people, they're just taking them and shooting them and throwing their bodies along railroad tracks. He said they're going to use that case that agent opened with you to get these drug traders, human trafficking people. You have so much hurt and pain in your eyes. And then he drills me in front of them until I'm stuttering. I walk outside. Okay? And they yell out, we're the U.S. Marshals. We're going to be taking care of this. That agent actually left her there. Can you believe he left her there? No. And then they say, he actually said that he left her there because of the shower scene in the other room. He said she was weird with herself, so he left her there. It was probably them and not her. It was them. That's why they made a public fool out of him. June 7th, 23, it actually fall for this down in tapes before. Drug confessions. Photoshopping and washing. By the drug cartel as a drug scam. By a drug dealer. And he would fall for that. Publicly mocked him. Can you believe he actually left her there? We'll take care of this. And they left that night. It was the weirdest feeling driving myself home without having all these cars around me. It was weird. 3 weeks later, February 14th, 23, they did an 800 people sweep. April 8th, 23, 2 of the drug cartel guys show up at Giant Eagle in Hartville. They walk in. If Will used your case to infiltrate our gang, you tell him to give you your money. We're out of here. 2 of the cops looked right at him that worked my case. We actually did. I laughed in their face. I don't like being monkey in the middle. I've been monkey in the middle for 6 years. That's just like those 2 young agents in the Belden office. They were around me. Look at all these people they actually hired to hurt her. Look at all of them. We could use her for bait. See, it's demonic what Agent John did. I called the hotline. I got him nailed. I got 4 attempts on my life, 2 documented by the police, 2 witnesses of the other one, and witnesses of them impersonating me, 3 witnesses of them saying it was them trying to have me killed. Had him nailed. They drugged me out so bad after I called the hotline that agent's calling back. When I listened to the voicemail, they got the number because they're cyber stalking me. And so they can get to that agent and he probably almost fell out of his chair. One of the Fentanyl King's men walks into his office with my ex-husband, an occult leader, and another drug dealer, and a drug cartel girl. How they've been cyber stalking me, fake sodium pentothal reports, photoshopping and washing, and that Strange had ordered me to be killed because he listed me a faker 15 years ago, and they were having me drug being raped. Confessing all this to a federal agent, that they had a racketeering scheme of drug beat, raping somebody, human trafficking, sextortion, of photoshopping and washing, drug confessions, and they had been having a victim drug being raped in their own home and human trafficked. And they were even obtaining and dispensing kiddie porn of children going potty. And they confessed this to a federal cop. You see, like they said, until you actually listen to how she puts it, you realize what they did. When you realize what they actually did, how not funny this is. It's life in federal without parole. And then attempted murder, even admitted to him they've been trying to have me murdered because of strangers lie to cover up Tim and Katie. The next time I met with my friend out in Worcester, we start talking about, we always talk about the case. We were talking about his girlfriend, his parents. We walk outside. He walks me to his vehicle, or to my vehicle, and two guys come out and get on a bike. John said they had it planned for a long time before they did it. He's like, "What was that about?" I said, "That's one of the agents over my case." Well, he hasn't tried to talk to me more like once afterwards. Once or twice on the phone. He's trying to get a hold of me. Now he's either heard something else from his friend on the police department or the drug cartel around the track. Because he hasn't talked to me in almost a year and a half. Year and a half. Now, the only time the riffraff left me alone is when I had lunch or dinner with Sheriff David, Mike DeWine's cousin, the governor's cousin. Yeah, they didn't bother to come in. Because you do realize what kind of people were sitting around me. They don't realize who's sitting around me in the first place. Heard one of the drug cartel guys before I went in there. It's not funny who she's sitting down to dinner with. Sheriff David's a sweetheart. We were only friends. Met for dinner several times. Going through a horrible divorce. Talked him through some panic attack. She'll be fine. She can only take so much of your money. She's a gold digger. She left me for a bald fat man. You'll be fine. You'll find someone. Tell him about the riffraff. He's like, are your local police slow? These people can't do any of this. We all know date rape drugs, your amnesia drugs, you're sleepwalking. And anything can be photoshopped from words out of sentences to other sentences. And put different people's heads on different bodies, different eye color, hair color, clothing, backgrounds. Anything can be photoshopped. Nothing's trustworthy for years, and nobody's allowed in your home. Are your local police slow? He said, I'll tell you what, I come packing every time I have dinner with you. I'm like, you're a sheriff. He's like, sheriffs die too. And these people are crazy who did this to you. They're crazy. And you need to be packing too. They're dangerous. He was like the skinny little retired cop. Sweetheart. Total sweetheart. But skinny. Remind me of Barney Fife. Don't tell him. But he's a real sweetheart. But yeah. So, yeah, you know the governor knows, right? Because he goes up and has dinner at the mansion. How good of food they got there. Okay. Now, we're going to talk those ladies were in the restaurant and they're listening to me ramble. I know they're there. They're like, well, they said that one minister thought he could make money out of this, and they found out they could never. They even tried. They were to arrest them for racketeering, cyber stalking, selling kitty porn, having someone drugged for fake confessions, photoshopping and washing sextortion, stalking, cyber stalking, racketeering is drugs, threats, rape, and attempted extortion under it. It's a 20-year sentence. It's RICO charges. So that's where those investigators in Hartville Will's been playing these people because he thinks it's funny that they thought they could ever make money out of that. See, that's where those ladies, that agent didn't pay her because those people thought they could take it. They could never take it. See, they could never file anything against me. Because where did you get your information? Oh, we hired a drug dealer on our own to cyber stalk her and tape her naked in the shower and naked with Dave. We sold her on porn sites. My God. That's a good 10 years to 20 there. We photoshopped a shower scene in the drug dealer's tapes. They took kiddie porn of little kids going potty and sold it on porn sites. My God. Oh, we were having the drug cartel guys go in and lace her drinks and tell her to say something stupid. And we photoshopped Washington trying to extort money out of the drug cartel tapes from the drug dealers we hired. And we were having them beat and rape her because our minister called her a baker. 15 years ago. Where did they think they could get money out of it? Only one that would actually get money out of it is me, because the judge finds out what kind of crimes they did. They could make them compensate me for personally harming me and exploiting me, and then exploiting my grandchildren. It's a federal crime for personal injuries they are admitting they caused. See, those ladies were saying some minister thought he could get money out of this, and they found out they couldn't. See, it's crazy cult. They think they can make anything up, do whatever they want, and say it, and then it'd be true. It's not. It's a bunch of huck and bullshit. See, like the investigator said, they thought as a woman that a cult thought she didn't have any rights and they could do whatever they wanted to her. That's what occults do. They don't think women and children have rights. And they can exploit them and harm them. Because, I mean, you even think of the scenario. An occult leader, to cover up his son's adultery, thought I caught him and Tim and Katie together, his son. Here it's my sister. My sister's married to his son. Here Linda's out following her husband and his mistress. She gets caught. Comes up to me at church. I was following him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. That was a Wednesday night. By Sunday, he took Danny and made up that lie. Pushed Danny to suicide. See, that's where, about a month ago, I was up in Akron working for my total care client while she was still alive. Had all these, you could see the cars. I got videos of cars following me. And you can recognize the vehicles, okay? Start going through being sick with the endometriosis, kidney surgeries, muscles locked up, from all being cut everywhere, okay? going to the crackpots that falsely diagnosed me, gave me medication that made my whole body swell, went into mini heart attacks, seizures, brain swelling, thyroid, adrenal gland shut down. And it took another doctor, when they were lying so bad they said I had level 2 brain tumors, that they were all lying, falsely diagnosing me, ripping off my insurance to get an attorney, sue them, and turn them over to state to pull their license. I wasn't the first one, the only one they were doing this to, and they were getting kickbacks from the drug companies to do it too. Okay, and then I had to get with Dr. Eli, and he agreed it was medical malpractice, false diagnoses, put me on pain medicine, muscle relaxers. In over 9 months, I learned to walk again on numb feet, and everything started working again. Problem of it is, there is actually something wrong with my heart. Where they said back then, when I went into many heart attacks, that's scary. I literally passed out. I was having chest pains. I was in the emergency room, and I woke up in the cardiac ward. Okay? Was on calcium blockers, nitro pills. I still have a scar down by my groin where they had to do a heart cath. Now, they told me the heart cath showed that the left side of my heart doesn't pull as much blood as the other side. They even said I had mitral valve prolapse. I was on calcium blockers and nitro pills. I felt so much better. I had more energy, But if you research what calcium blockers are, nitros, they dilate your veins open more so your blood flows easier. So where my heart's not pulling enough, it just made it easier to pull. That's why I felt better. Okay? They shouldn't have pulled me off that, but they thought all those medications caused everything. But here there is actually something wrong with it. I have something called PAVR, pulmonary anomalous vein return. The vein from my lungs to my heart only pulls about 50%. And then the left side, my heart. That's what they said 20 years ago. I had to go to the doctor and talk about where they found it. Where I got bit by a dog, I had to have a CAT scan on my stomach. And we went in and we were talking. They said, well, the dog probably pinched a nerve and probably pulled on that muscle. That's why you're having deferred pain and you're hurting. And then feeling like needles from where it clamped and pulled. But it didn't tear anything inside. The nerve eventually healed the muscles. You have 2 tiny little kidney stones that'll pass. They are not big enough to block anything. Now, and your liver and your pancreas is fine. Okay? But we need to talk about your heart. The left side's not pulling as much. And they're telling me stuff they told me 20 years ago. See, there was actually something wrong with my heart. So that's where those people, when they tortured me and smothered me, that's why I passed out so easy. They could have killed me with a less blood flow. See, that's where my client, about a month ago, her neighbor, some guy was out talking to her. That agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything. It was a medication error, medical malpractice. Okay? Why did they wait 15 years to kill her? Well, Strange actually ordered it. When he thought she caught Tim and Katie together back in 2003. That they were to try to have her killed. And if she didn't die, they were to destroy her. They were to say and do nothing until Dave said he wanted a divorce. It took Dave 15 years to say it. That's why they waited 15 years. Where when I met with my friend out there in Worcester again, we walked outside, two guys came out, got on their motorcycles. John said they had a plan for a long time before they did it. 03. Now I want you to think, in the 15 years, Dave's making love to me all the time. Fixing up our home, taking care of kids or grandkids, living our life together, going on vacations with me. Well, with his occult, he's still getting together with them, planning my death. Premeditated murder. And how to do it. Sat and planned death and destruction for 15 years while he lived his life with me. He's that evil. Potentially dangerous, FBI? Extremely dangerous. Walking into a federal office. Could you imagine that FBI agent's face? Dave walking in with an occult leader. 2 drug dealers and his drug addict girlfriend. That Strange confesses to him that he ordered my murder because he called me a faker. 15 years ago. Dave's saying he's going along with his occult. Been trying to have me murdered for Strange's life and his little 18-year-old girlfriend. He's 60. And then he has these 2 drug cartel guys. Been having them cyberstalk me on his own. He hired them to cyberstalk me. Saw pornography of me and him, me in the shower, selling kitty porn of his grandkids going potty, and pornography of his children going potty on the internet. 2 drug dealers. That he's having the drug cartel break in and drug me up. Lying they have sodium pentothal reports. That they have been drugging me to tell me to say stuff. And they had a Photoshop shower scene in drug cartel tapes. Huh? And him and that occult had been having me drugged, being raped by the cartel. And he confessed all this to a federal agent. And then has one of the... Now, do you think any real doctor would put his name on such shit? Had a drug cartel guy say he's a doctor selling my information and helping an occult kill people. Like the police said, we always knew none of her doctors could come in and talk to him. It's the stupidest scam, HIPAA violations. They sure as hell wouldn't be able to talk to the drug cartel. And an occult leader. It's 1 to 5 years and $250,000 fine. But they said they had somebody impersonate a doctor. They did. Now think of what they confessed. Life in federal. He should have nailed them all to his desk and said, where the hell is she? Send an ambulance up there and he would have found out a passed out, drugged up rape victim in bed. They couldn't wake up. That's what should have happened. It was evil and satanic what he did. Act like he was going to go along with them. Goes, tells on me, acts like a crazy occult person. Admits on a recorded line he told on me several times, met with all of them. Act like he's going along with them. For strangest made up lie to cover up Tim and Katie. Then you gotta even think about that family. I had nothing to do with their kid's death. In the middle of me getting well, her father runs a stop sign into a semi. I finish getting well a couple months later. And it took me 9 months. It had nothing to do with them. And then in November, 6 months later, Strange makes up that lie. It has nothing to do with them. They're just using their family's tragedy to help kill people and manipulate people. Then if you actually think about it, her father, Phil, was standing up to Strange publicly. Joyce had went to a ladies' meeting out of town. She's 50 years old, heavyset. Her and a bunch of other 50-year-old heavyset women. It's forbidden to swim in a public pool. Waited till about midnight. Everybody's asleep in the hotel and went swimming in a public pool. One of those bitches told on him. And Phil was ordered to correct Joyce, and he refused and publicly denounced Strange till almost the day he died, that no matter what, he had a good wife, and he was not going to say a word to her, and he got sat down from being head usher, song leader, soloist, and in the quartet. He was that, and he never worked for the church again. And he ends up dead in 2 months. A lot of people thought Strange had him killed. Now, if he was going to order all this on me for thinking I would dare follow his son and mistress, what would he do to a man that's openly defying him? Why didn't he stop at that damn stop sign? A lot of people thought Strange had someone play with his vehicles. More than likely. Now, I want to think about this one. And just like my friend Grant out of state has a friend from an FBI agent out of state, he told him what I said about how that agent talked to me, told on me, confessed he told on me, bullies me, and then lists me informant, and then threatened me, and then he never paid me. He said, well, if he did all that on the recorded line, they got him. He can't withhold your money. He can't take it. It's for working the case and only working the case, and due to the freedom of speech. He's only a police officer. It takes a judge. That's what the prosecutor's office said. Criminal attorney, other police office area. He doesn't have enough authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. And then in my case, it becomes stupid. He told hundreds of people that I called the hotline, act like a crazy cult person. Acts like he's going along with it, even on a recorded line, mocking me, bullying me. Made me beg for my life, listed me informant with money and immunity, then threatened me, even though he's already confessed, been seen and witnessed, even by the police telling on me. And then you don't even have the authority to even ask anybody to stay quiet. It takes a judge, freedom of speech. Criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, another FBI agent, and the police. It's freedom of speech. No, like they said up in Akron, no man can tell you can't say anything but a judge. Play FBI. But then you gotta think. A fentanyl kingsman. One of the ones that work for him, one of the ones big enough to call and order the cartel to come here, walked into his office. Did you not think he didn't know who Pete was? Base Rex? And the other guy? Cartel walked in with a drug scam to a federal office and confessed they were running a drug scam on a rape victim. They were raping and human trafficking. We're stupid enough to tell on ourselves to a federal cop. Like some lady investigators, that minister should have died in prison. The rest of these people too. They cannot exploit and harm people and think they can extort money. It's racketeering. Like investigators said, it is racketeering what these people did. Oh, and a lot more. Attempted murder. And one investigator yell at people in stores. One person opened their mouth. I'm going to arrest them for attempted murder. Now I'm going to go ahead and upload this. So, where did they said that agent wanted that one minister thought he could make money off of it? Huh? They found out they couldn't. We always knew they didn't have an attorney working for them. Well, exactly. They were impersonating one, just like a doctor, just like they did FBI handlers, just like they were pretending to be FBI agents. But I have a real one that's over my case, and even the Stark County Sheriff's admits working my case. And they all know he told on me. Now, I'm going to go ahead and upload this. But if you pull about January 25th, 2019, around that time, they said some African American man bought me. I'm not for sale. Okay? They had talked about a Harry back then, and the people are scared of him. Isn't that human trafficker they are all hunting down, is it? There was some guy in the summer of 2020, 2021, met Danny and Jen at IHOPs on a Sunday. The place was so packed, it was like standing room only. I could hear somebody off in the distance. Karen looked really nice at church today. When the case is over, she belongs to me. I belong to no man. I am an individual. And they took your damn money. Get over it. Buying a human being is illegal. Oh, that retired CIA agent said that they already knew that the human traffickers work in families to trick people to go outside. They know they dismember people, just like they told me that victims' families that they break to them, they dismember them. That they will walk up and kill you in your car. I know that. Okay? And for these idiot people, when they say there's kingsmen around, they don't actually work for a king. They work for a pimp, a drug dealer that calls himself the king. A fentanyl dealer. And those are his pimps, selling people. Be afraid, get away. He's not a real king, he's a drug dealer. Some McCall cannot have people cyberstalk. They can't be hired to invade people in their home. They cannot tape people naked. They definitely can't tape children naked. They cannot sell victims on porn sites. They cannot have victims drug, beat, and raped. This is crazy. And they can't have them drugged up and told to say stuff. And then Photoshop things like washing and stocking tapes by drug dealers. The whole scenario is so absurd. They all should have been bitch slapped. But you got to think. I'll tell you what makes you think of John being FBI agent John being a good poker player. Scammed them all. Tricked that Pete into having all those cartels show up here. Have the guys all follow him back. Huh? They got over 1,000 drug dealers human trafficking, and they saved over 300 children that they took. Like they said, she was part of a really big bust. Her case is a nationwide human trafficking scam. We all know that. I'm going to upload this.